In my last video, I asked you guys to comment an iconic moment that lives rent-free in your head. And while all the ones mentioned are chef's kiss, there are two comments that stood out to me. The first mentioning the scene about Paul, and the second about Darcey. They're actually both from the same season of Before the 90 Days. So let's just get right into it, and let's start with Paul. This comment says, Paul running away in the woods before Karini gets mugged with a machete. Ooh. This one is classic in the most terrifying way. Paul and Karini were one of the most disastrous couples in 90 Day Fiancé history. It started off as mostly Paul, who was just a weirdo and a criminal. But what makes their story unforgettable was that scene of Paul running away. And if you don't remember why he did run away, it's because he was wanting to propose to Karini after he met her in Brazil, and he decided now was the time to finally be honest about his past. Not before he got all the way to meet her, after he met her and spent time with her. It's the most messed up logic. Also, they don't speak the same language, so this whole time they're trying to text each other to translate what the other person is saying, which adds a whole other element of awkwardness to this. So he tells her he has a criminal past, and her reaction is she's just speechless.
I have a lengthy criminal record. I've been in jail, I've been in prison.
Like, what do you even say to that? And what he did was insane.
I was accused of burning my own house, burning my own personal property.
He went to jail for arson and his ex filed a restraining order. That doesn't sound good. And she just has no clue how to respond. She just stands there. I remember watching this and wondering, what did he want her to say? Like, what was he expecting the reaction to be?
Okay. I'm sorry.
She doesn't lash out or insult him. She's just stunned, so why does he walk away? I kind of thought, okay, like maybe he got overwhelmed, he's being filmed, he needed a minute to like collect himself. But then that thought just leaves my brain because he takes off running. And that's like the goofiest run too. So she goes after him with the camera crew saying, this is a very dangerous area. And he just left her in that dangerous area. Also, where is he going? He tries to say in his interview that it was best to end things and walk away, but that's not what he did at all here. He could have very easily just been like, this relationship isn't gonna work. I'll take you back to the hotel. That's not what happened. He didn't even say anything about breaking up. He just took off and she followed, putting herself in danger. She finds him because I think he like got stuck. He didn't know how to cross the water and the water looks sketchy. He was like saying, oh, I don't care if I jump in this. Oh, yeah, you do. You wouldn't even jump in the river without all the stuff you're gonna wear on. Also, if the goal was to like get away from the camera crew filming, he didn't take his mic off. You could still hear him like he was mic'd. He tries to tell her in a translated text that he's no good for her. He doesn't want to hurt her, but he does not say, it's over, we're done. I feel like he wanted her and the crew to chase him. If he like ran back to the hotel to like hide from everybody, I could understand it, but he literally has nowhere to go. She says she doesn't care. She just wants him to come back with her. I think she actually handled this pretty well for how crazy he's acting in this situation.
You don't understand.
Vamos.
No, you go back.
Let's go.
But he still doesn't move and just stands there in the forest. Why? If someone can tell me why they think he just was standing here in this scene, I would love to know your opinion. Was he going to jump in the river? Like, what was he trying to do? And also, if you're gonna say, oh, I'm a bad person, I don't deserve you, why don't you make sure she's safe before you go frolicking in the forest, dumbass? At one point, she's like just frustrated and is like, I hate you. Fair. And she leaves. But as she's walking back, the most insane thing I have ever seen happen on this show happens. First, you see some people running, and then this guy is yelling like, give me your cell phone, cell phone, cell phone. And when he turns, you see he has a freaking machete. And what completely baffles me about this is she's just so lucky that the camera crew was with her and they didn't hurt anyone. Paul left her in danger for really no reason, and she didn't do anything. This was him admitting that he was a bad person, and yet she was the one that was put in danger. He's such an idiot. The camera crew keeps filming, but helps get her out of there. And all I could think of was like, great, she's done. I remember watching this and being like, well, this is over. He's going back to the US. They're done with. No matter what the circumstances she's in, him putting her in danger like that, I thought that would be it. I thought they'd be done. She even says that she blames him somewhat, at least, for that robbery. Yet, we see in a scene later that she forgives him pretty easily. She does ask questions about his past, but like, they get married, they go through all of that. It ends very poorly, their entire relationship. But that scene is probably top 3 of the most insane things I've ever seen caught on camera on this show. And Paul running, he does that more than once. So moving on to the next scene, it's somehow still pretty uncomfortable. Not as crazy as the last scene, but it's more of like an extreme cringe that you feel watching it. So for the next scene, this comment reads, when Darcey thought she was getting proposed to by Jesse, but it was a promise ring. So Darcey and Jesse, they had met for the first time when she visits him in Amsterdam, and they have a very turbulent relationship. But when Darcey is getting ready to leave to go back to the US, Jesse takes her to this special place. He gets down on one knee, opens up a ring box with what looks like an engagement ring in it. I remember first seeing this and being like, wow, he really did it. He proposed because I was surprised. But before he puts the ring on her finger, he says this.
This is not an engagement ring.
What?
I want to show you my appreciation.
Jaw on the floor the first time I saw this. Even now rewatching it. Like, what? He says it's a promise ring and then slid it onto her ring finger. What the fuck, Jesse? He says like they didn't get to know each other well enough in the short time together, which, okay, fine. But getting down on one knee, come on, man.
This is not an engagement ring. This is a promise ring. And it resembles our love, our commitment.
So I actually think that he did in fact plan to propose to her. This is my theory. But when they had that fight where she like got drunk and tried to run into the bushes or something, I think that changed his mind.
She didn't want me to hold her and she wanted to get out of the place and she ran into the bushes.
What if she doesn't make changes in behavior? It will be a big problem for our relationship.
But I think he still had that whole thing already planned. And so they told him to do it. Or that has to be what happened, because this makes absolutely no sense. And what I was saying earlier was this scene is right after their whole drunk scene where he tells her to never drink again.
I wanted to get out.
Because you were drunk.
And even though I think he is a walking, controlling red flag, I think that's when he saw the red flags from Darcey and decided he wasn't gonna marry her. I actually think they would have broken up and he was done, but he wanted to be on TV. And she wanted to be on TV, so this just kept going.
I didn't know what to do or say. I just kind of like was in shock for a second.
Darcey just looks so shocked, confused, disappointed. It's so good. And oh my God, the car ride back, he's just like, I don't even care what you call the ring, as long as you know it's not an engagement ring. And then he tries to gaslight us, the audience, us, saying, I just don't know why she's pushing for an engagement when I got down on one knee and gave her a promise ring. Like, this shows my commitment. Come on, Jesse. He's so shitty. And she's so delusional. Makes for great TV. Well, those were fun to revisit. 2 totally different, cringe, crazy scenes. Let's do more. That was fun. Comment below more classic scenes that live rent-free in your head. Anything else we can talk about on this channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!